Welcome back to the Gloss Garage. So you're wondering whether you should top your ceramic coating or not, and pretty much I will answer this question today. So this vehicle, I coated it a little over 13 months ago with the DIY Detail Type 2 5-year ceramic coating. Now we're going to take a walk around. You're going to see up here on the overhead, maybe I'll go back and forth between clips, but overall you see that this vehicle, obviously the coating itself is still behaving pretty good. It is dirty. The owner does wash it, as frequently as he can, probably once or twice. It's been through the car wash tunnel. The hood just obviously looks pretty much almost perfect because we had to remove some of these adhesive stickers that were on here from his deflector from like rock chips or whatever on the hood that he had. So that is why we ended up doing a two-step, and I ended up applying a coating that I had here. I had Hydrate opened already, so I ended up just putting that on the hood just to maintain it. But all in all, the rest of the panel just looks amazing. It is beading well, except where the quarter panel, the front quarter panel meets the door on that lowers. That is where you get most of the abrasion. Now, a lot of people will ask, should you top your ceramic coating? And I say yes, but you're probably like, hey Sock, well, you don't top your ceramic coating. Well, that's me doing a threshold test, right? I wash my vehicle once every 2 weeks. That's pretty much how I like to do things, if not at the very least once every month. And I like to do these thresholds because there are coating companies out there that say, hey, you don't need a topper, or hey, you need to top your vehicle every month. And that is something where at the end of the day, you're wondering, especially for those coating companies that say, hey, you should apply a topper every month or every wash. It's like, is it my ceramic coating that is lasting, or is it just the topper that's doing everything, right? So that is something to keep in mind. Now, over time, there is abrasion. Ceramic coating is a resin. That's why people say, how much solids are in your ceramic coating and yada, yada, yada. For example, Labo Cosmetica has something called Blindo, and they have Blindo and SEC, but Blindo is their 100% resin pretty much coating. That is the hard part, and that actually goes on top of your paint and actually adds I'm not going to say it's a huge amount, but it adds a little bit of whatever microns or mils, I forgot which one, I think it's microns. It probably adds just a little bit because it is 100% resin coating. And then from there you apply HPC on top of it after an hour or two, once you let that resin pretty much almost cure on itself or attach itself properly onto the paint, and you apply HPC, and that is what gives you the hydrophobics and also the chemical resistance, because Blindo in itself, it is not chemical resistant. So over time, yes, your coatings, resin or whatever, their solids or itself starts to wear off. It starts to shave off a little bit. So you really need to, in my opinion, top your ceramic coating. Now, you can use whatever topper you want. A lot of people like to use a ceramic spray sealant, but for me, as a detailing business, if I am doing, say, a 1-year refresh, because this is something that I am doing on my customer's vehicle, which you already see on the overhead, this is what we like to call a ceramic decon / reset, right? We are using Labo Cosmetica's Primus, which is their alkaline soap. Then we let it dwell, rinse it off, reapply it again. Then we do our contact wash. Then we go on and use our acidic wash to get rid of those little minerals as much as we can, because some areas are slightly clogged, especially like I said, that area, maybe we could get faster cheating, or maybe we could get beading back. And we do the contact wash from there with Purifica again. And then from there we rinse off. And then we apply Sidero, which is an iron remover, with the clay tallow. The vehicle was slightly rough to the touch, nothing crazy, just a little bit of contamination. Now, ceramic coating does get contaminated over time. It's natural, especially here in the heat in South Carolina, and it is a daily driven vehicle. And yeah, so it gets, it got beat up a little bit. So we are shaving that off, all those contaminants, and from there, you're pretty much set. Now, once you're done, as you can see, the vehicle is still beading. Well, you see a lot tighter around the beads, and it's using Purifica, and we are going to see where we're at right now in terms of water beading, what's left. Maybe it replenishes some of the water beading down here that we lost. As you can see, it is still there. That wear line. So again, this is more the abrasion part, especially when we have a highway here and all that rock and stuff just kicks up on it. But everywhere else on the paint, it is looking great. So we're definitely gonna top this coating for sure. We'll probably use, like I said, the 1 year. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to apply. It's doing its job. I'm gonna continue around, beading perfectly fine. Even on the hood, although we had to repolish the hood, the one where Jimbo's Pure Magic Cleaner had, I said Pure Magic Cleaner, Jimbo's Picture Perfect Polish, it did not affect the coating whatsoever. So that is something that I must, give credit where credit is due, is Jimbo's Picture Perfect Polish. I polished one area of it, just wiped off the polish residue and applied the coating. So they did pretty well on there. Obviously, I can't check on the full durability, but it is what it is. And yeah, so now we are ready to apply the 1 year coating. So I like to use a 1 year for me personally because it gives me the best durability. I prep the panel or prep the paint as perfectly as possible. I pretty much don't tell people to use a 1 year spray coating if you're just going to do a basic wash and apply it. To me, it's more waste of product, right? The less prep the vehicle has when you're applying a ceramic protection or any type of protection, really, is the less prep it has, the less durability you'll get. So maybe you only get 4 months out of this, right? Or whatever 1 year spray coating you're applying, right? If you don't do a proper, decon wash before you apply this as your topper. And then your ceramic spray sealant that you like to use, you probably only get 1 or 2 months of durability instead of your 4 or 5 months because you're not prepping the vehicle properly. So what I like to tell people is prep your vehicle properly if you're going to do this or any other one, if you want it to last. But this is something that will last for a while, and I like to use 1 year spray coating, whether it's this one, Phobic, Glassparency, spray coating, Adams, Graphene, or 1 year spray coat, whatever spray coating of your choice, make sure you prep it properly. And this way, this has higher solids than your ceramic spray sealant, so this will attach itself better onto the coating in itself, and then you will get longer durability, get those hydrophobic backs, and you'll get the slickness back, and that is it. And then you could just maintain it from there. That is the way I like to do things, because just because the base layer is starting to show a little bit of weakness, that does not mean the coating is not fully there. The first thing that you actually lose on a ceramic coating is your actual water beading behavior, pretty much, and you still get rapid sheeting, and that is it. So now let's go tunnel in onto the 1 year spray coating application DIY detail. This is why I like this stuff, because you could do pretty much almost the whole car and just level off with ease. So cut over to that. Hopefully you enjoy this type of video. If I end it that way, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, let me know what spray coatings you guys are using right now. Yeah, see you all on the next one, and let me know if you guys top anything in terms of your ceramic coatings. All right, everyone, so the entire hood is completely compounded and polished. I did a 2-step just because I wanted to make sure I blend this area in a lot better, and it looks better. But all in all, it just looks that much better. Like pretty much like I showed just on the reel, you don't need specific, certain brands. Just I used the Griot's Garage Fast Correcting Cream. I like that compound, but the problem with that is annoying to wipe off. Vice versa, I ended up using Scholl's Black 1-step compound for the second step. Made this look completely glossy like this. But the problem is, again, it is annoying to wipe off. That's why I like to use a damp and rinseless towel. But I will show you quickly how easy it is just to apply the DIY Detail 1 year panel, or as a panel, ceramic. And the only reason for that, it is very easy, very simple. All you need is just 2 towels, and I will show you right here. So all you need is obviously a leveling towel and your second towel for buff off. Doesn't really matter what color it is. And I already been shaking this up off screen. And the reason why I really enjoy this 1 year coating is you could either use it in a spray bottle, or like like I am doing it in a traditional coating way. And I just primed this much will be more than enough to get me 2 panels. And then you just let it sit there. You can even do more. When I mean more, I mean you can let it sit there. The flash time of this coating is phenomenal. And I am applying all of this down here. And the reason for that is because remember, this area was clogged. It is normal. It is wear and tear. This is a daily driven vehicle. It drove to Tennessee and back. It drove to Florida. It's not one of these cars, and it sits outside mainly most of the time 24/7. So it's not, you know, the wear and tear on this area with the road rash and the grime is obviously precedented in this area. So as you see, did this entire panel quick. I still have more on my applicator, and this just spreads so much. It spreads like butter, and you just continue applying. And I am going to top this. Obviously, I'm topping the coating with the 1 year. And you're probably wondering, hey, why are you topping the coating? Well, for longevity, right? It's my warranted work. This is what I do, and that is what I'm doing. And I could still keep going around the other side. So I'm gonna come around here, and I got a little drip, pretty much nothing there. Bam, will be my leveling towel. And I am just gonna apply just that many drops more, and just continue around. Now I'm gonna avoid the hood because I am going to put the actual longer coating, probably a 3 year or whatever coating bottle that I have open at the moment, just to substitute for what we just did, and it'll last for that amount of time. And as I said, very, very long flash time. Now, what you can do as well is you could just right away buff off if you like. DIY says you can do your entire vehicle. I've done half the panel already, or half the vehicle, and I am, you know what? Let me apply a bit more on here, right up here, just so this whole area is done. And as I said, a little goes a long way. You could definitely get like 10 vehicles with that 1 year spray coating, because a little just stretches so much, so easy, so forgiving. There's nothing to worry about on there. So yeah, so anyways, back what I was saying, I just applied it onto the rest of the stuff of the vehicle. And your first one is your leveling towel, and the leveling is like butter as well. They have instant bond, what they say, instant bond technology, but that's pretty much all coatings now on the market are instant bond technology. You just apply it and you can wipe off within 30 seconds. The difference with this one is, of course, is the flash time. That is the benefit that you're getting. So the longer flash time gives you more work time. And I am not, you know, sitting here with elbow grease. And of course I am inside the garage. It is 70 degrees in here. But if you are working outside, which I have applied this outdoors, all you really got to do is just do 2-3 panels at a time and continue around. Same thing here. Look, no streaks, nothing. Come up over here, oil slick on water. Again, I am not worried too much about whether or not this is properly, you know, really gonna give me the entire durability, because I am topping this on top of an existing coating, which you can do with 1 year spray coatings, just to give it more durability or longevity. And yeah, I mean, over time, the resins of any coating starts to degrade. So you just really want to make sure that you top it. And that's why typically I like to put toppers on coatings. That is my way of doing things. I do put toppers on my customers' vehicles. Now, if I'm testing coatings, I typically don't put a topper on it, and I don't, you know, bash the company in terms whether, you know, it lasted or not with the topper. I just give my real world experience. But overall, this is something you can do once a year, and this is what my customer is getting. It is pretty much a decon refresh on a decontamination wash / refresh on his ceramic coating. And this just builds your customer's trust. You're doing things the right way. This takes no more than applying than an actual sealant. As you see, I'm wiping everything down, and this is why I'm doing things uncut, so all of you can see. So you can see right there, this area, pretty much more than 50% has dissipated. Let me get the side view mirror. Get the side view mirror here, and do this right over here. Wipe off that, and how much time did I take? Seriously. How much more time did I take? I added slickness again onto the coating. This thing is super slick. And yeah, just since recording 7 minutes, so it'll take you at least 20 minutes to get around the vehicle tops. And yeah, and that's me talking. I could apply more, start wiping. And as I said, it's instant bond technology. So this is pretty much it, right? So what is the process that I did? Well, pretty much washed the vehicle, did the entire decontamination wash, what you guys saw. And then on top of that, from here, I ended up doing just topping the ceramic coating with DIY's 1 year spray coating. It's easy to do. You can apply it on top of any coating that you want. So that way it gives more longevity. Remember, the resins of any coating over time really degrades, and that is something that a lot of people need to understand. That's why I believe in toppers, but you know, the companies like to say they don't need toppers. So that is something to understand. I am not claiming that this is going to last you 5 years because you are using a topper over time, but I am claiming that over time, as a standalone coating, if you don't apply anything, you get pretty much good durability. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this type of content. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you all on the next one. Peace. Enjoy the walk around above. I'll probably do another outro, but we will see. See you.